in addition to the recording, I will send the presentation I have out as a PDF, along with some of the other stuff we put together prior to this, all in one email that you can forward out. And then as I kind of do some follow-up, we'll use that stuff as well.
Okay, perfect. That sounds great. So, all right.
So I'm going to start, or do you want me to go ahead and start, Andres?
Yeah, no, I just love to say, welcome, Grace. Owners, thank you. Sales reps, thank you for being here on this call. Grace we've been talking for a while now about how we can help and work together with Cap America to kind of jumpstart sales and alleviate some of the pressure that some of these other unnamed cap suppliers are causing headaches for you guys out there in the field. So with that, Grace, go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. So before I share screen, I'm Grace Shetler, and I'm the VP of Sales at Cap America. I have been at Cap America 5 years. Actually started in the industry back when I was in college. I worked for a promotional products company in Tennessee. Grew up in Tennessee and moved to Montana, which apparently my mom just texted me is one of the top 10 states right now. So that's interesting. It's funny. You see people come in that like the summer's here and then winter happens and then they leave. A prime example, I've got a neighbor across the street who's put their house up for sale yesterday because I'm like, they came from Arizona. The winters are too much for them. But anyways, if y'all have questions, type them in the chat and then we'll answer them at the end. We'll open it up for everybody. It's just, I can't see everybody when I'm doing this, so it's hard for me to tell if you're getting ready to talk or not. But keep those questions because I definitely like questions. So Cap America, we've been around since 1985. We're family owned and operated, and I like this picture because it just shows the realness of who we are. This is our facility. It's changed a lot. This picture was taken about 3 years ago. It's got leadership here kind of in the front row. Our owner is here in the front center with our CEO here, Mark Damon, to the left of him. So it just shows the company's family owned. We've since grown to, at this point, we probably had 275-ish employees. We have over 400 employees now. So we're growing like crazy. In 2009, as a company, we had done about $10 million. This year we'll do close to 60 million. And if you take the 2 years of the pandemic out, that's basically 10 years. We've grown really, really fast. As you all know, headwear is in really high demand right now. It's hard to get. We have over $10 million of inventory on the shelf. The good thing about that inventory is it's all online with no login. So you can see inventory at any point with no login. The only thing is if it is a zero, it does not show you when it's coming in. You can call and ask. With $10 million on the shelf, the majority of our top sellers are in stock. The I-1002 being the top seller. I think only like the burnt orange and the fringe colors are out of stock right now. So really, really healthy stock position. We added 40,000 square feet onto the facility. So this picture was taken before it's pretty much full at this point. So the right picture shows the empty shelves. The left picture shows it's starting to get more full. It's completely full now. So we literally built this square footage onto our building because we had a secondary building that was holding inventory. And we were having to go and get the pieces and it was a delay in production. So we built this square footage just to hold inventory for the most part. Since this was built, we've since added 3 more 15 heads. So we have over 550 embroidery heads. They are in Southern Missouri and they run 24 hours a day, 6 days a week. So we added 3 more 15 heads, which is 45 more heads. We're trying to just keep up with production. We're typically a 3-day turn on pull from stock, domestically decorated and shipped. Right now we're at 7 days from approval. We're still faster than anyone in the industry. As a company, we've won multiple awards over the last year, one of them being the Counselor Distributor Choice Awards for Top Headwear Supplier. We've won that 9 out of the last 10 years in a row. So what we specialize in is decorated headwear. We ship about 95% of what we have out with decoration on the front. So this is kind of my number one. If I were to take one thing home, it would kind of be the picture of what we do to make selling hats easy. People either love selling hats or hate selling hats. We try to make it easy. We try to take all the work off of you and literally allow you to send us logos and us do the mock-ups for you. So 3 things we do for free. We do free graphic concepts. free specs, and we digitize for free. So if you were to leave this call and send us your top 5 clients, we could literally take those, develop art off of those, and then sample the ones that you liked from that. We do include 10,000 stitches on the front in your pricing. So all your pricing online is shown on an A. It includes 10,000 stitches with no digitizing fees on the front. Again, just trying to make it easy. Here's your price. You can price it out and move on. You have a dedicated customer service rep, and at the end of this, her information will pop up. It's Heather Matlock. She's internal. Again, I'm the VP of sales, so I'm moving fast, and I can help with any specific projects, but she's going to be the one who does your day-to-day. The orders come to her, etc. She's wonderful, and she's specifically dedicated to AIA. We do contract embroidery as well. So if we are out of something and you need something, or someone has to have a certain brand hat, you can get free freight in from Sanmar and SNS. You can send us caps from anywhere. The key is if they come from SNS and Sanmar and we mess them up, we can reorder them. If they come from other companies, you have to reorder the killed product. So it just makes it easy for you to do that. You can send them to us, and we'll decorate them. And, you know, obviously the number one question is, why would you decorate other people's hats? Reason, if you think headwear, and the number one, if Cap America comes up every time, I need hats, you think Cap America. It's kind of a win-win for all of us. So that's the reason why we started doing it, and it grew to over $1 million this year. So we're doing a lot of contract decoration. If you can use our hat, most people are going to use our hat because it's a little bit faster than waiting on the goods to come in. But sometimes it's just they require a certain brand.
Hey, Grace.
Yeah.
Quick question. Sorry to interrupt. I know we question, but this
No, you're
is
good.
probably going to be relevant because a lot of people are going to ask this. Do you only contract embroider hats, or do you do flats like shirts and jackets too?
Just hats.
Okay.
So it'll just be headwear. Those 550 heads are set up for headwear all the time. We have like one tiny machine that does flats, mostly for employee goods.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Thanks for clarifying.
And I will clarify and say hats and knits, because when we're in knit season, we do change a few of those over to embroidered knits, which are embroidered flat as well. So we can do outsourced knits as well.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you.
So this is an example of one of the concepts, just to show some of the creativity. These are overseas hats, but they don't have to be. They can be anything. You could get this page and say, I really want to see a physical of 1, 2, and 3, and that's where we get the physicals. Hats are very finicky for people. People want to see the quality. They want to see the complete structure of the cap. Is it structured? Is it unstructured? They want to try it on, and so that's why specs have really accelerated our business doing those. We're going to talk a little bit about knits, and this is just to show we do some knit concepts as well, and we'll sample those also. So truckers are really the number one hat out there right now, hardest to get. We show the X500 here in black. Funny thing is, a black trucker is extremely hard to get. We have 17,000 of the X500 on the shelf. So I'm going to send this in the follow-up email, but good, better, best, premium. So if you go to our website, there are going to be different series on the website. And underneath this good, it's going to say X series, better, value, best, classic, premium is the premium line. So that's going to be your different price points within the lines. So the X500, it starts at $4.95 with 10,000 stitches on the front. This is going to be the one who's been in our line a long time, so inventory is super, super heavy here. What makes it less expensive and different is you'll see like the mesh on this is extremely see-through. So it's not as condensed mesh. It's a lightweight visor. It's a lightweight material. Probably if you threw a book on the front of this, it's going to smash this because the buckram is going to be lighter. So there are properties within a hat that make it less expensive. And that X500 is that. If you get a little bit better and you go to the I3025, it's $6.20. So your mesh is going to be tighter. You're going to have a heavier visor board. You're going to have a heavier chino, heavier buckram, so it doesn't smush as easy. That's what the different properties within a hat are. I3028. So everyone knows what competition out there. You get asked probably every time a hat comes in for a particular hat. and a 3-digit number. This is going to be our similar to that. It's the I3028. It's $670 with 10,000 stitches on the front. This has been in the line for 5 years, so it's in pretty good inventory situation. When we get certain colors, they tend to just blow out, so I would definitely check. I think there's 22 colors and over 12 of them are fully stocked right now. What makes this different than the other two is, again, a heavier visor board, but also it has a modified bill. What that modified bill is it's not completely pre-curved. So a pre-curved is going to be extremely curved. This is in between a flat and a curved bill, which is a big trend right now to have that in between. You're not fully flat, you're not fully curved. This is shown with 3D and flat. We do 3D. It does add, I believe it's like $3.50 net to the hat. We're doing a lot more 3D and flat combo because you kind of get that look of a patch without waiting for patches. And then the premium is the 8502, and what the premium is it's a flex fit snapback. I highly recommend, if you're trying to get people to A, try a different trucker, B, you want to upsell, you want to send them one of these pieces as well, because this is a flex fit, so it'll actually stretch with your head. When you put this on, it stretches to the next head size. So it's super comfortable. We're seeing orders flip every day to the higher end, more retail cap. They're willing to pay more money for a more comfortable higher end piece, which is what this is. It is a flex fit 110. So this sticker particularly is all over the retail shelves. Columbia Sportswear, Huey, all of those brands do this flex fit 110. And that's what this 8502 is as well. So if you were scared, it's about $12 net. People are frightened by that price when they think about a $5 net hat, but it's selling like crazy. Actually, there's a ton of size holes. We're waiting on 2 containers to come in the next 2 weeks that'll fill a lot of those holes. But you'd be surprised people are willing to pay the money for that hat. Retail and promotional have merged closer, even in the last 5 years that I've been with Cap America, than they ever have been before. So this is the I3028. Again, this is your modified bill. It's going to be really close to a competitor style. This one's going to be the closest. So I'll just go ahead and say it. The Richardson 112 is what everybody's looking for. This took us, been there 5 years. Finally, we have the exact mimic. This is it. It's got a poly cotton front, where the 3028 has a flat chino. So think of your khakis and think of kind of your dress pants that have a little poly in them. That's what happens on this particular cap. The silhouette of this is slightly different. If I put these on the table beside each other, these two, you'd be able to tell one has a slightly, a slope that starts later, and this one's more boxy. The thing about the 3038, it was brand new, added at the beginning of this year. So we're going to chase stock a little bit because we don't have historical data on it. The good thing is that that hat can be made basically from the ground up in our 30-day program. Now, 30 days that's direct from overseas. It's air freighted in. It's an awesome program. It's one of our fastest growing programs. And the 30-day program is only a 72-piece minimum, and it's priced complete. So you can basically take and build from the ground up any color combination you want, or even a stock color combination. So say we were out of this marine gray, marine blue and gray, you could build this and you could add a little custom flair to make them feel extremely special. And what I mean by custom flair is, so like this hat, this is a different style hat, but think of this as being a little added flair, adding a loop label on the back, adding taping, doing a patch, you can add a rope. All of those things can be done in the 30-day program. Right now it's taking about 45 days because of the Shanghai closure. Our factory is actually not in Shanghai, so they're still making the caps. It's just getting them on the plane and out, which is sort of the delay, but it's still 45 days and it's calendar days, not business. So in about a month and a half, you could have a fully custom hat. This is one of my favorites. Taking all those materials, you can do a screen print on the front to give it like that Travis Matthews look. Again, this is a very, very retail relevant loop on the back, adding some contrast stitching. You can even sublimate underneath the bill, so you could put that marketing message underneath the bill and really do something a little different. Typically, when you do a custom hat, the reorder stays with you. It's too much work that goes into a custom hat to move it around, so it's a great, the reorder rate is extremely high on custom hats. These are the differences in our program. 30-day is the fastest growing program because you can mix and match and basically create our stock styles. And even adding a patch on them, it's faster than we can really do domestically. You can bring a completely custom hat in from overseas, and it's super, super simple priced. Just to reiterate on the FlexFit 110s, there are multiple styles within the FlexFit 110, and that is because they get with different material compositions, they get a different number. So if you go on the website and just search FlexFit 110, it's going to bring up all the different styles. So this has got the melange front. It's the 8509. It's been out of stock for a while. So what I will show you is this 8510, which is the full fabric version. Again, flex fit, snapback. So in our world, it's awesome not to have sizes and still offer flex fit, which people ask for on a daily basis as well. Super lightweight material. This is a good golf hat. This particular hat is in stock except for light navy and dark navy right now. It won't be for long. It was super hot when it came in last. So it's probably going to get blown through as soon as it gets a little warmer everywhere and everyone starts thinking of golf season. So top performers, I highlighted truckers today because it's really what the trend is. Everyone wants to know what the hottest trend is. So that's what I spent my time on. But these top performers are on our website all the time. You can actually get a kit of top performers. These are going to be the ones that have your heaviest stock. The 1002 is what they call the dad hat, chino material with the sliding brass buckle. We have tons of stock in those. So if you were looking for something that you wanted heavily stocked, go to the top performers, and that's where you're going to see the most stock. A couple new styles I'm going to highlight. This is really just one of them, recycled. Recycled, anything sustainable has been, it's been a huge buzzword depending on where you live. It's funny. If I travel West Coast, it's a huge topic of conversation. If you go to the South, it's not as much. But we did add this recycled cap to give us some sustainable. It comes with a cute little label on the side that explains the story with a little water bottle here, that when the 3007 has on average 1.2 recycled plastic bottles in a cap, and every 6 bottles, 1 is recycled. So it's kind of a cool story there. To that, we're going to add 2 different styles in the knits that are going to be sustainable as well. Those will be added in July. So we'll have a USA made sustainable knit and an import sustainable knit to kind of round out that category. And those again will be added in July. Outside of hats, we also specialize in knits, and in July we do a big knit rollout. This is one of my favorites, so I just wanted to touch on it. It's an awesome piece to be mailed to. High-end retail feel. It almost feels like cashmere. I have choices in knits, and this is one of the ones I love to wear because it's extremely soft. So this is the IK8552 with the waffle knit. It's extremely stretchable. And then we have the full ribbed cuff here. Full ribs knit with a cuff. This one is the IK8550. These are the same yarn, so I kind of call these brother and sister because they are made in the same yarn. Again, super mailable. It's shown with the loop label, so we can do those domestically. Turn time's about a month to a month and a half right now. So it's called a loop label because it's just a little woven piece of material. It's sewn on the front and then sewn back here. Really hot trend. You'll see it here with the woven, and then I did it over here with the leather. So that's a cool look. Leather patches are cool and trendy too. So this one's got a leather patch on the front, a full leather patch. Again, all those patches can go on hats too, about a month and a half turn time. Elite knits. So these are the EK series. These elite knits are our custom knits. that are done in these states. So this is one of the fastest pieces of our business that are growing. I sit here and I'm actually watching it snow here, which is crazy. It's middle of April. But we're trying to think warmer weather and get out of knits. But I'm telling you, if you spec these in the summertime and put them off to the side, and when we get that first cold day, these will sell themselves. So 24-piece minimum, anywhere from 10 to 15 business days, and the design is all knit in. We design these, we spec these. You can do a various different looks. I'm going to show this because it shows different looks besides the Southwest set here, but you have one with the cuff and the palm. You have one without. And then you can do a full 60-inch scarf as well. We have actually, this category is growing so much that we used to run 8-hour shifts. We're running 12-hour shifts this year with the hopes of adding a second 12-hour shift in knit season so that we can keep up with the demand and capacity. We have to turn orders away basically when it starts getting cold, and we're building up towards that. We have 62 machines that run these there in Missouri. So USA made, big buzzword. On top of that, if we can't get things this holiday season, we have the yarn. We have, I think, already 7 containers with 10 more containers coming in of yarn alone. So we can build these knits there and still be able to have product. Again, I'm going to send this out. Here's my information. Heather is your inside customer service rep who handles all of AIA. And I believe that's it. And then we'll open up for questions. But I will share that if you didn't get that.
All right.
Down. Let's see.
Thanks, Grace. So a couple of things I want to reiterate on this. One, their 30-day program, which is now really 45, but we can control that, is way better option here for your customers if they want to do something that's going to be custom, unique to them, and will also allow you guys to kind of be able to maintain that order, because the amount of time and energy you guys are going to both put into putting this custom order in, you're not going to want to go through it again. And Grace alluded to that. So that 45 days to get a fully custom hat is still going to be faster than if you go with that other supplier which starts with an R. I don't want to say it on this call, but it's what I mean, is they're so backed up. So you have the ability to do a custom program here for your customers. The second thing is, if you're not aware yet, Cap America is doubling down on working with AI this year. So much so that they've increased their level of MVP with us. And so obviously they're committed to it. They want to grow their sales. They know there's a big gap in the headwear space here with all these suppliers falling short of what they're being asked. So let's do what we can to help them out on this one.
And to that point, Andre, like I didn't show these, but I will real quick. There was a customer in particular who went to the R company. They did everything direct. It was very painful, so they decided they were going to go to a distributor and do it that way instead. And so what we did was we talked through it. We said, you know what, let's make custom hats of everything but a trucker. Let's do a little different. We did a ponytail hat. We did a flat bill with a rope. So we did everything to make it a little different than a basic trucker, and we pitched it that way. We sampled everything. We changed it to kind of a lifestyle brand. So instead of their branding being on there, we did custom taping on the inside. We did every single piece with the signature on the side, with the loop label on the back. And then it was their hat, and they literally flipped all of the business from going to direct to a middleman distributor, because they knew that it could be serviced and it could be done as their brand versus someone else. So that's just a cool story. If you're up against that constantly every day and your client won't budge, let's do something different. And we free sample the overseas pieces as well. So we can make that custom hat and you can pitch it to them with an actual physical instead of just the PDF.
Right. Okay. And along those lines, Paula Pirelli asks if there's a list of caps for the 30-day program, or are all caps available on that 30-day program?
So they are all available on the 30-day program. So what is limited in the 30-day program, and this is online too, is your fabric options. There's a bunch. But your fabric options are basically what you're limited to, and then you can make whatever style you want to out of those fabrics. So you can say, I want the 3038 and these color combos. They don't have to be what's stocked. So we had a Loden black, you could make a Loden sand because we carry the sand trucker mesh, and then we have the Loden material. So you can make color combos, and you can do full fabric caps. You can do different styles. You can say match the Richardson 511, which I get almost every day. And so we can basically take those materials and make a 511, if that makes sense. What's limited are the materials in which can be used. And they are on the website. We guide you through that process too. You can say, this is what I'm looking for, and we will literally do a mock-up of that. Your techniques are somewhat limited in the 30-day program, but not really. You can pretty much do anything but embossing. So if you needed embossing on the a rubber patch on the front, or you wanted to emboss your metal grommet on the back, that can't be done in the fast turn, but almost everything else can.
Okay. So, this is causing more questions to come in on this. How do you handle pre-production samples or specs on custom orders?
They're all free. So they take about 4 to 5 weeks because we bulk them together. So they make it overseas, and then they bulk ship us, and then we ship out here domestically, but they're all free. So the technical written rule is 3 samples per logo. So you could do a domestic hat, an overseas hat, and a knit. You could do 3 domestic hats today, and next month do 3 overseas hats. We do 400 to 500 spec samples a day. They're all free. It's what's grown our business. If our president was on this call right now, he would push specs more than anything because we know they sell.
Yeah.
So don't fear that you're overusing us for that.
Okay. Yeah, because I think it's important there. It's just, you get something specific to your customer in their hands, they can touch, feel, put on their heads, they're going to buy. The chances of them not buying at that point are very slim if you've gone to all that trouble. So don't be afraid to use them as specs.
And Paula, Paula's question too. You can change color combinations, but within the 72, it has to be 72 of the same. That's the minimum per colorway. But you could do 72 black, white, 72 white, black, and we could actually ship them together to save on air freight. But you just have to do 72 of the same thing.
Okay.
Paula, you can order as many spec samples as you want. There is no limitation. It's just 3 per logo. So if you were to send me the Coca-Cola logo right now, they would do 3 with Coca-Cola, 3 with Mountain Dew, 3 with Pepsi. But it can be as many as you want a month. And I've been here 5 years. There's been one person we've told no when they had done like 500 specs and $5,000. Okay. So we don't say no.
All right, cool. Thank you. All right, Bonnie raised her hand. Go ahead, Bonnie.
Thank you. On your elite knits, what's the average production time for the 24, and what's the range of pricing the different types of those knitted pieces?
So the production time right now, because we're coming out of winter, is 5 days. It got up to 15 days when it gets cold. So it's still not overseas since they're done overseas turn times. Pricing goes anywhere from like 24 pieces are around $8 net. When you get to 96, that's when you get EQP, and it drops to like $6. It's a couple dollars off at 96. So 96 is really your sweet spot for the best pricing. The machines have to be set up the same either way. So that's why there's a huge drop off.
You can do a presentation of ideas if I gave you a logo of some kind.
Yep.
Great. Thank you.
And believe it or not, there's 2 machines that are set to literally spec those custom knits all the time. So those are done for free too.
All right, cool. All right, and Taylor, we appreciate you sharing how much you use Cap America. He's not being paid. He's not on Cap America's payroll for doing this, but obviously he has truly found the value that Cap America can offer. I too, when I was a distributor for AIA, would use Cap America as much as I could. They just to me seemed like best bang for the buck, most efficient company to work for. more best offerings that we could get. So, you know, if you're not using them, try them out. This, again, the free spec sample program, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. So, all right.
I would say start out, just order a sample pack or even the top performers pack and feel it, touch it. You'll see right away that these are premium hats that compete with anybody in this game. So the decoration's great too. Quick turnarounds on mock-ups. Heather is amazing. So yeah, Heather's team is great.
All right.
Appreciate that, Taylor.
Welcome.
All right. And then, yeah, I think that's it. So we've identified what the Richardson 1-12 comparables are. So we're good there. Yeah, I think we're, anybody else have any other questions? Comments?
Oh, Paul, I just got it, but you can email me or Heather for the kit. We don't charge for the kits. So either way, shoot me an email, Heather an email, and we'll get the kits out.
How many caps are in the kit?
So right now, I suggest asking for the 2022 kit because it has new styles and best. And so it's the best of both worlds. It's got 2 of the 3038s in it, and then it's got all of the best sellers. So when I did this good, better, best scenario, it's got these 3 pieces in it. It's a really great kit for kind of all the things right now, except for knits.
Good stuff. All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, let's start using Cap America. You know, Heather and Grace, your resources.
Thank you. Thank you for putting this together, Andres.
Oh, happy to. So glad we had it.